Alright, hey, it's Mr. Norton, and we're going to try and knock out Unit 1, Lesson 3, which is analyzing production possibilities. We're going to be focusing mainly on production possibility curves. Depending on what you look at, they oftentimes can be referred to as production possibility frontiers. We're going to look at it in a curve form, and we're also going to look at it in a schedule form. So we'll also get into the differences between those today as well. Okay, so first thing we want to try and do today is really we're going to end up doing the two. The third one would have been something we did in class, but we're going to describe what a production possibility curve is and how it's constructed, and we're going to summarize what can be learned from using production possibility curves. And again, the third one is something that we've just done in class, so you should still be able to create a production possibility curve of your own. It's just, basically drawing a graph, so not an issue. All right, so first thing I want to go over though is what an economic model is, and basically it's a visual representation of economic activities. So when we're looking at graphs and we're looking at schedules, which is just really a chart, those are going to be considered economic models. When we look at supply and demand curves, or just supply curves, or just demand curves, those are also going to be economic models. Economics is basically a subject where you are constantly looking at economic models. When we look at the business cycle, when we look at gross domestic product, there's numbers of different things that we're going to be looking at throughout the year. They're basically going to be full of economic models. So let's do some assumptions here that we have to assume, obviously, that are true when we're looking at a PPC, production possibility curve. First one is resources are fixed. We're not going to find any new land, labor, capital, or entrepreneurship. We're not wasting any of those particular factors of production. The third one is always confusing for students. It says only two things can be produced. It's really only to simplify things. Your textbook, and oddly a lot of videos and other textbooks that I've looked at as far as PPCs, always seem to use like bread and bran muffins and guns and butter. Like, I can see the bread and bran muffins because they're both bread products, but I never have understood the guns and butter thing, but it doesn't really matter. Same thing for the fourth one though. Technology is fixed. We're not going to create some new invention that allows me to just all of a sudden make more. So let's do some opportunity cost here though. We see that, now this is just a repeat of something from earlier with opportunity cost. So if I make